Procurement, which is the process by which governments buy goods and services, is a process that is near and dear to the heart of every construction company. Every day, contractors put in countless hours pulling pricing, estimating labor needs, and sourcing availability to compete on a project put out by the government. It's important to acknowledge that over the last few years, the government of Saskatchewan has been really responsive to industry in moving from a low-price procurement model to a best value model, which rewards bidders for more than just being the lowest cost provider. This work is being led by SAS Builds, and as your lead advocate, I can tell you that they're a great group to work with. However, not every government agency is required to follow the same guidelines. Instead, definitions, processes, and success measures are different from one agency to the next. Not surprisingly, this can make bidding and estimating very confusing and challenging for construction companies. Remember the time and effort it took to put together a bid? Now imagine 10 different agencies asking you for 10 different variations of that same bid. Here at the Saskatchewan Construction Association, we believe that all agencies funded by taxpayer dollars should be required to have procurement practices in place that are consistent, transparent, best value based, and that support local vendors. From my perspective, our current situation poses three questions. First, how do we maintain the positive momentum that has been built up between government and industry so far? Second, how do we cascade the best value approach across the entire public sector in Saskatchewan? And third, how do we ensure the long-term sustainability of this procurement approach? In this provincial election, we have three calls to action which we believe help to answer these questions. First, we're asking our MLAs to support, with resources, the standardized training of industry and public agencies to ensure that good procurement practices are well understood, that industry and government gets to know each other better, and that the right policies and processes are adopted consistently across Saskatchewan. This ask will help support the continued positive momentum. Our second ask, we want MLAs to mandate that any organization that receives provincial funding must adopt procurement practices that are consistent with those established by SAS Builds and endorsed by industry. This would mean that every municipality, every school board, every Crown corporation, and so on would all be moving towards a consistent and standard approach to best value procurement that's easy to replicate. And our last call to action, we need our MLAs to agree to establish an accountability function that enables the raising and addressing of concerns about procurement policies for all public agencies in Saskatchewan. These concerns need to be documented and reported on in addition to being addressed. This will help to entrench a culture of continuous improvement and foster better communication between the people who want something built and the people who actually build it. These three asks won't solve every problem we face today with procurement. However, they do move things forward in a positive way, and each one is essential to securing the culture of ongoing improvement and genuine collaboration. If you agree that we need to keep pushing to improve best value procurement, then make sure to share some of these ideas or our posts and resources with candidates when they visit your business or home. The more that they hear about these topics, the more likely we will be to see government action after the election.